Welcome to Gosia's Goodies. So today for the craft that we're going to be making, we're going to need a few things. First things first, protect your workspace. We're going to be using glue and you don't want to get glue all over your table, so protect your workspace. Today we're going to be using Elmer's school glue, any school glue that you can get. Pretty cheap, nothing special about it. A pot for the glue to go in. You'll need a paintbrush and some water in a jar to keep your paintbrush damp. And you'll need a jar. You can use a long jar like this one or a mason jar, really any type of glass jar that you've got lying around the house, and we're going to pretty it up. So we'll start with the glass jar, and we're going to just pour some glue into our pot. And get your paintbrush, and we're going to cover the whole jar from top to bottom with a good layer of glue. It doesn't matter if you've missed a couple of spots, but your best results will be if you get a good even coverage on the whole jar. Now, once you've covered the whole jar in your glue, we're going to decide what kind of decorations you want to put on your jar. Now, because this is a nice tall one, this is going to be a jar for flowers, like a vase, and we're going to just pretty it up a little. So what I bought is there we go, it's all nice and covered. Now, from just any $2 shop or reject shop or any of those kind of crafty stores, I bought a bag of gold leaf. And what you'll do is with the gold leaf, you can pull out using tweezers, because they will stick to your fingers because it's very thin. And we're going to just, in our fingers, rip it into smaller pieces. They don't need to be even, they don't need to be a certain shape. The rougher, I guess, the pieces, the better it will look. And you're going to just glue them on. Now for mine, I'm going to start with big pieces along the bottom. Big pieces along the bottom, and as we move towards the top, we're going to use smaller pieces. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the top. When the glue dries on the jar, it will give it like a frosted look. So we don't need to wash it off, we don't need to, just stick the next ones in. Don't need to worry about going with the decoration on your jar. You don't need to worry about going all the way to the top, because that, once it dries, will have a frosted look, and that's sort of what we're going for. So you can see I started with the big pieces along the bottom, and you'll go all the way around, and then as you come up a little higher, we start going with smaller pieces, middle-sized pieces there in the middle. Any small pieces you have, put them up on the top. Now you can use gold leaf, you can use silver leaf. I did see some silver leaf in there. You might want rainbow sparkles. Really, you're only limited by your imagination as to what you'd like to put on your decorated jar, and I guess what purpose you're going to be using it for. So that kind of gives you the idea, and try and lay them down as flat as possible without touching it. You're going to get glue all over your fingers, and then it's going to be just that much harder to work with it later. So you'll just keep going around until you like the pattern that you've created. So I'll show you one that I did earlier. This is one that I did earlier. So the glue, as it dried, you can see it's got that frosted finish. And just to finish it off, to tie it all in, just again, any coloured ribbon. If you're using the gold flakes and gold ribbon, you can use thin or thicker ribbon. If you're using silver, match the ribbon to go along with it, just to tie it all in. And then this is mine, how it's going to be looking. There we go. That's the finished product, just with some flowers. And just to pretty up the space, we'll just pop that over there. That's one that I did earlier. Now I'll show you a couple of the other ones that I've done. So I did one here, which I put on feathers. Again, first with the glue, we put the feathers on, and then we went over with it with glue one more time, and then we stuck on the butterflies. So it doesn't need to all be flush. If you want it to be a bit 3D, you've got the butterflies there. Again, it makes a bit of a cute jar to put some decorations in, or even a candle in the bottom. Looks beautiful. And I did one more which didn't quite work so well. We did it on the outside, the flowers on the outside, but before we, sorry, the butterflies, but before we put the butterflies on the outside, I put glue with some food dye and a little bit of water inside the jar to try and tint the jar blue. Didn't quite go as well as it could have, so this one I would say is a craft fail, but these two turned out beautiful, I would suggest. So get your craft on, find the bits and pieces, and you're only limited by your imagination. Thanks for watching Goodies with Gosia.